Hey, welcome to the first Father and Son podcast in Oklahoma City. We are excited today because we are here again, just enjoying our time with one another, things like that. I am Jermaine J. Jordan Sr.
I'm JQ.
I'm Corey.
I'm Jay.
I'm Brian.
And we are Sharp on All Four Corners podcast. And we like to just say welcome, 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 welcome.
What's happening?
You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here with us today. So hopefully we say something that's inspiring today, something that motivates you. But hopefully it motivates you just to see a father right here with his sons doing something that we're trying to continue it on for a legacy, generations to come. This is just a platform to build that generation legacy. And so here we are today. We got my 4 sons, and also we got an adopted son, which is my son's best friend. He's our media department. He's our photographer. He's our he takes our videos. He takes our pictures and what have you. So he's a big part of it. So we brought him in today as these young men ask questions, and we just talk. So we thank you guys for being here. And today it's all on my son Jay.
Okay, I got a series of questions. It's
Okay.
for everybody. First question is for you.
For me,
Is
I'm on the spot.
Right to it.
absolutely if you the question I have for you is what was your definition of happiness?
so you say what was or what is?
What is your
What is?
definition of happiness?
I think happiness to me is, at this time in my life, is knowing who I am, knowing my purpose, knowing that the mentality and power that's within me. So basically, knowing who I am and accepting that.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I have accepted, that I am different. I do stand out from some of the others that, maybe I come from that world or was in that world. So I can honestly say when I was in the world, as far as the streets, I was different. I can
Just
honestly
built
say
different.
In ministry, I was different. I stood out from,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what at this point in time in my life is what I see.
I have a second question
For me,
for a follow-up question.
okay.
What is your biggest regret in life?
It's deep.
That's a tough question.
Because you got happiness, now I got to know what
My
was your biggest regret?
I think
They say live or none.
I think as growing up as a young man trying to find my way, I think not asking questions, the right questions in my life, or I wouldn't have made some of the choices I made.
Mhm.
So I think just being fearful of asking questions, because then people would downplay it and talk about you or say you dumb or this or that and the other.
Mhm.
So I think one of my biggest regrets is just not asking questions, because I allowed other people to make me feel like if I did, I was dumb.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can feel that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think I still kind of struggle with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't even gonna ask.
Because it might make you feel like it's it's
If I
undermining
feel
you
like I
a
know
little
the
bit.
Answer, I definitely ain't gonna ask.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
That's a solid answer. I feel like it was quick, straight to the point. The question I have for you now is, what was it like being an athlete? For JQ is, what was it like being an athlete in high school?
I would say, like, during the early years, because I started young. I started younger than, like, really all of my siblings in sports and athletics. I started basketball when I was, like, I don't even think I went to school yet when I started basketball.
Mhm.
And so, like, since I was a little boy to, like, 5th grade, it was great. Like, I was a bucket. Like, I'm for real. Like, I could, like,
A
people
walking
was
bucket.
Like, bro, we need, like, we're gonna need
Right.
them.
Right.
Like, people coming up to Pops trying to get me to play for
Right.
this team.
Like your son going to the NBA.
Right. So it was like, at that point, I kind of knew I was special, and then 6th grade kind of hit, and that's when I kind of got into, like, understanding that I like girls and understanding like I'm not gonna be cool if I dress or look a certain. I start getting more, I started noticing myself more.
Started
So
getting
I-
more conscious, self-conscious.
Yeah, I
about it.
started being more self-conscious, so I started to lose confidence, and it wasn't like on purpose. It was more so because, well, like, I just felt like Pops couldn't make it to the games, Mama was gone, you know, and then you doing what you got to do. My older siblings couldn't make it, so it was kind of just like, it just kind of felt like it was a lot on me, and I couldn't deal with it at the time, and I didn't really like know how to express myself to anybody about it, and so I just kept playing. And so like as I got into high school, I started really liking football more because I started football in the 6th grade, and I found out I was really good at it. Like I was better at football than I was at basketball at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got to like sophomore year, like the first game of the season, I had like 150 reception yards, a touchdown, 1 touchdown return for interception, and then ended up moving schools and hurt my back, and then after that, it just kind of was wraps for me. Like I got injured before I moved schools, and I had messed up my nerve in my arm. And I didn't tell nobody because I didn't want nobody to know I was hurt. But I had like really bad nerve damage in my fingers.
Right.
So like I couldn't, it was hard for me to write, do anything. And so I kind of like just started slacking off with my grades and stuff like that. And then, but I just kept playing. Like I wasn't like failing or nothing. It was just I wasn't doing the best I could be doing. And so I would say it was great being an athlete, but like I felt like there was a lot of favoritism and a lot of like pick me's and stuff like that in school and I wasn't really like that. Like I wasn't a kid that was like, I'm not playing if y'all don't play me. I'm not doing this if y'all don't play me. Like I just kept going to practice. I just kept playing, hoping I was gonna get this play time, but they wasn't even giving it to me, you know. And then football, I was starting to get my light, but then I moved schools, and it just kind of, and then I hurt my back, and after that, I was just like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
So, and I was working out, I was doing everything I could, and I wasn't getting no bigger. You ain't gonna make it in football if you ain't big, you know. So I just kind of was just like, find something else to do. And so I would say, best thing of me learning sports was being able to understand that I'm very competitive and I can do anything any other dude can. You know what I'm saying? I felt like me playing sports was kind of war for me. Like I'm very competitive, so like even upperclassmen, lower, it didn't matter. You getting this work,
Period.
point blank. Like,
So
my daddy
point
didn't even
blank.
like.
Right.
Pops would have me outside with grown men.
Right.
I'll take you to the rack.
Right.
Like I'll tell you, like.
So what it sounds like
And
is
I'm gonna tell you, and then I'm gonna do it.
right.
So it's like, but now it's just like,
Back then it was like, yeah, he's taller than me. Yeah, he's older than me.
didn't care.
Yeah, he might be a little faster, might be a little more athletic, but let us get on that court, boy,
Anything,
and we gonna
really.
see.
It was whatever.
We gonna see
Anybody
who got
wanted
who.
to do.
Right. Okay.
Football, basketball, boxing, soccer.
Right.
Let's go. Come on.
Well, for me, when we would play, I definitely didn't have the talent.
Nah, you was raw, bro.
I wasn't talented though. Like I didn't have it automatically. Like you didn't have to practice. I had to practice to get some of the moves like 100 times. It was just you can just watch it on TV and you can do it.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. People say that I don't have to practice, but y'all think I didn't have to practice, and that's just because I made it look like that.
I think now I can say this. If I want to chime in a little bit, I think there's a difference between talent and gifts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think he may have been gifted,
More
right, gifted than you,
Right.
because I don't think you did not have the talent. I don't. Now that's something I don't agree with.
Right,
Like
'cause
I
he
agree
was giving
because
us buckets.
he couldn't have been. He became 5 to 10 times better because of you,
Facts.
right? Those all-nighters, those all-dayers out there pushing him and staying out there with him and practicing with him and You know what I mean?
Sending
Like
me in the house
that,
crying.
you can't buy that. That ain't just, that's talent to want. Cause I wouldn't, if I as a kid, I wasn't playing basketball all day and all night,
Right.
every single day, all day. You know,
Right.
no, y'all did that for days and days. That boy can come in there crying and go back out there. Y'all do it another 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. So, and then you did the same thing, play with grown men, and they respected your game. So I don't totally agree with you not having the talent. That's just me.
Right.
You know, my standpoint of it.
I also think
Okay.
too as well that I feel like you kind of say that, but because our play styles was a lot different.
Right.
It wasn't
Yeah,
like
right.
you wasn't like flashy and like me. You
Right.
was more fundamental. You kind of played like old school. Like you a post up fadeaway jumper. You know me.
Right.
I'm a
Crossover.
Get a lay.
Yeah, I'm
So
doing
it
you
was
filthy
good.
before I get this bucket.
But
So
I
it
think
was
that's
like-
what made it great because there was not two alike, right?
Right. Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah,
But yeah,
growing up as an athlete was very hard.
Okay. That's a solid answer.
It was very hard,
Okay.
and I lost.
We
that battle.
appreciate you for
I'm not
that.
gonna lie to you.
We appreciate you for that answer.
Yeah.
The next question I have is for Corey. The question I have for you is, what is your definition of success? If you can
Success.
just give me anything, just not just
Okay.
one word, but just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for success, obviously, everyone is different and there's different standards for everyone. So what I would say success is, improving yourself, being better than you were, in the last year, last 5 years, you being able to see that change that you made for yourself or for people around you. That's what I would say is success.
okay. That's solid.
very.
That's solid.
That's
And nothing you can really
you
argue
can always
about.
look back
Mhm.
on it,
Mhm.
and that helps you. You know, people say don't look back,
Right.
but I think a car wouldn't have rear view mirrors if you couldn't look back, and see how far you got.
Check
how
your rear
far
view
you got,
mirror.
You know, and in life, sometimes you just check back a little bit
Right.
and see, did I add more value this year than I did last year? Did I make the accomplishments or finish the goals?
Mhm.
And if you look back at that and then see where you are, you can say, okay, I'm doing good,
Mhm.
right? But some people say, don't ever look back. I just don't agree with that concept.
I don't
Because
either.
looking back, many days I lay on my pillow with my hands behind me and think back on where I once was, right?
Mhm.
And it was some fun times, good times,
Mhm.
but that's not where I want to be. So what do I have to do to not be there no more or even go back to that?
Mhm.
I have to see what it was that got me there or kept me there, right?
Right.
So I respect that as well, but it almost, and the crazy part about it is I hear y'all sometimes say something and it sounds just like me.
Mhm.
I
Been
can't.
around you all our life.
I'm
can't-
just saying. I know, but that answer was just like
Mhm.
that's something I say.
You can't run away from your DNA.
Man, you can't,
Can't live
bro.
without it.
And it make that's why I say it makes me proud to sit here and just hear certain things because we don't have those long drawn outs no more. Now, every one of y'all done had them. Woo, boy, I'm talking about long drawn out conversations. Where I'm just
Yeah.
pouring into y'all. You know what I mean?
Shoot, I remember one time we was just going to work one day, just me and Pops. There was a time where like me and Pops was just the only ones that was like working together, and it was just me and him, like back to back summers, winters, all of it. And one day we was just chilling after work, and we just rolling around, just riding through neighborhoods, just chopping it up till like 2 in the morning.
Sometimes it be like that.
Be like
Yeah,
this,
chopping
for
it
sure.
up. Nah, it was about anything,
Mhm.
anything. And that's why, like, I know, like, people say, like, your parents ain't your friend, but, like, I feel like in ways, I feel like I even notice myself sounding and talking like you when I talk to people. I try to correct something I don't like. And I know I get it from you, but I like that I get it from you because I feel like I handle things a lot more better from watching you handle things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, I know I'm, like, the more emotional brother.
Mhm.
So it's, like, I definitely had to learn how to use my words. Because if I didn't use my words, I'm going to say whatever.
Right.
Or do whatever.
Well,
right? Because I'm
right.
not saying, and because you are the emotional one, is because you can express yours.
Mhm.
We emotional, but I'm gonna say for me, I hide mine, and mine comes out wrong. That's why, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But that's part of that dominant nature too in me, right?
Mhm.
We don't want to show no sign of weakness,
Mhm.
you know. So
Believe it or not, and probably me, Corey, you, and even Brian can attest to this. There's some stuff that we do, and we probably the first person we might think of when we do it is probably our, dad.
No, for
Like,
sure.
what would he think if he seen me doing this? Or,
Right.
it's just natural to be like,
right,
What am I doing?
right,
but
Hey, man,
yeah,
there was one time I was in a building at work and I was just having a good time working, cleaning the building, but I didn't even realize that like I'm just being me, but like
Mhm.
there's a certain you can be around your parent, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I'm just in there, I'm singing my music, cussing and all type of stuff, and Pop just hit the corner and just, man, I must have
gave you that look.
just stood still, man. I was like,
yeah,
I don't
Gave you
know
that
if
look.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah.
And he just
Right.
stood there, looked, and he walked away.
Right. It's just that presence of mind.
Yeah.
Um,
Get back to work now.
Right.
You're doing your little fun, but
Right.
let's handle this business.
That's one thing I could say. Like, I don't mean to get off topic. or
Yeah,
nothing,
because
but
we got on this rabbit.
It's a
trail.
podcast.
Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah.
that's just one thing I could say. It's like I feel like everything I do is not even me sometimes. Like, I mean, I feel like
It
I'm
is
me.
you.
I feel,
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
I'm
I'm
definitely,
me.
yeah, I'm definitely me. But like, I feel like just how I react to everything. I just like it always make me think. I'm like, dang, I act like my daddy.
But y'all all do, and don't even. I see it. But the thing about it is, like you were saying, you had all those moments in those times. They have too.
Facts.
They have too, boy. We just, I just go in. I be like, and what I love though is y'all want it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I've seen cats don't even want to hear their daddy talk. Don't want to sit and listen. Don't want to say I appreciated that conversation. There's times me and him talk and we got through. He's like, "Dad, I appreciated that." You know what I'm saying? Like I needed that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's a lot of young guys don't do that with their dad. So if I can honestly say that's a part of me that makes me feel good is that I gained a relationship and it's not on that y'all can try to treat me as y'all equal,
Right.
but we can kick it.
Mhm.
You know what I
Sure,
mean?
for sure.
We can kick it, but y'all know I ain't gonna go too far with that.
It's levels to
He's
this.
still- He's still,
Man.
he's still pops. You
It's
know what I
levels.
mean?
It's levels
That's
to
kinda
this.
Like we don't cuss in front of you. We don't do nothing in front of you. We know you ain't going for it. You know what I mean? But like like
Yeah.
we don't just like. If it's one thing, I feel like there's been times where like we hide things from you just because we know you expect better.
Right.
like-
Not just because I'm gonna be just beat you up for it. It's because I want to see you do great, right? So you're like, okay, no, that ain't that.
Right.
You can, even when you start to do it, you can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pops was like, I can hear Pops saying, "Do better."
You're like, hey.
even with things like I don't like there's certain things like growing up that you would say you didn't do because you didn't like it, but to each his own, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And as I start to get older, I didn't like it either.
Mhm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I don't really like that.
Right. I can
Right.
see.
I
I can
really
see
rocking with that for real.
You know, I can see that in all of y'all, but because y'all doing y'all's thing, I can see that in Corey. Like I can see certain things, but he's able to do it.
Mhm.
Like me, what I didn't like, I still got into it. He has a safe haven to where he can come back to and say, I ain't got to do it and I'm good. Like I ain't got to go out there and try to make a buck, right? You know what I'm saying? Because Pop's trying to hold it down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to go on the block, right? And try to help Pops pay a bill or something, right?
Right.
Like I had to do for my mom, right? That's a difference in him being able to walk in that, I don't like it and I ain't gonna do it. You know, versus me, I don't like it, but I gotta do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see. But it's back in your hands as we went on the rabbit trail.
That's all right. We appreciate y'all for those comments. But now we're gonna go to Brian. I got a question for you. My question is, you being the age that you are and you being, you having younger siblings, what motivates you?
What motivates me? That's a good question for sure. I say the family for sure. Just knowing that I want better for myself, and not only for myself, but to be able to take care of my loved ones. It's definitely something that gives me motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And just being able to see a future for people around me and for myself.
Right.
Like, just there's a lot of different things that can motivate me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But just being able to see those things and that they're attainable
Mm-hmm.
is probably number one motivation for sure.
Wow.
As it should be. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Solid.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, it was something you said, being able to be there for your family. I think that does something to a man that loves his family, man. You know what I mean? Just being able to be called on and looked at as that in the family is something, man. Because I know what that's like, and as one of those guys in my family, I've been doing it a long time, and one thing I can say, man, is the women in my life, like my mom and my sisters, man, they crazy about me. They love me, right? I appreciate that love, you know, because like I always say, some people don't even love their siblings, don't love their parents, don't respect. You know, it's a lot of that going on. But when people do it out of love for you and respect for you, it's a different feeling. You know, they respect me and they're crazy about me, you know. But, you know, not to take over the moment, but everybody got to ask a question, but it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Can we ask you a question?
Mhm.
And one I want to ask is, how is it 6 years ago versus now being a dad? From beginning till now, you know what I mean? Like when my grandbaby was first born
Mm-hmm.
to her being a big girl now. You
Right.
know?
You didn't even have dreads then.
Then had a fade.
I had
Had a
dreads.
fade.
Had a box top.
For me, it was like life got serious. Life wasn't just all about me anymore. It became about another human being that I brought into this world. And at that point in my life, it's just time to just be more serious about certain things that you know about yourself and about saving money and about how you carry yourself, because they looking at you, whether you think they not or not.
Man.
You got kids. Everybody who got kids, they know that they're like sponges. So everything that they do or that you do, they're gonna see, and they can emulate it or they don't emulate it. But at the same time, you still got to make sure that you're watching your six and making sure that they're okay. Checking in with the, you know, when she's getting older. So I'm having to go to school conferences and school field trips and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
So it's getting to the point where I'm having to show up and be there too.
For sure.
And then she's expressing that she want me there too.
Because she expect that.
Right.
She expect that because
So-
you already started that,
Right.
right? So because you started it,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't even. It's just basically saying, hey, this is what's happening, and she's already okay. I told Dad, so he gonna be there.
Right.
Like she ain't even.
Right.
Can you be there? Can you make it? No.
Right.
I told him he gonna be.
Right. Right. Because it's
and my daughters do that.
Right.
You know, so I know that feeling. With my daughters, they just think you got money.
Right.
They think you gonna be there.
Right.
Gonna, whenever they ask for something, they just feel like
Mhm.
they don't think about if you know
right.
that you really don't got it or you
Right.
gotta work. They don't matter.
Well, it'll be more of the oh, I got this going on, but and then it's her like, oh, but can you still make it to my thing though?
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
can you still make it to what I got
Right.
going on?
Right, for sure, right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right,
to me.
that's
real,
We
though.
don't do that. And
But
they
my girls do, and I know what he going through.
oh, GP too.
Man,
Right.
all of my girls was like that.
And if you say no,
If you
I
say
won't
no,
even say no. It's hard to just say
it's
no.
hard to say no.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no.
So I say I'll see what I can do, or I'll figure
Right.
it out, or
Do something
like that.
different.
I don't make no promise, boy.
That's the number one thing that I hate about myself. I
You
make
make the
I make promises that sometimes I can't keep.
And that's something that I've been drilling, telling you.
Yeah.
Don't promise. Don't promise.
I don't think I
Especially
have.
your girls, like don't do that to them, right? Like, and I'm glad you getting it now and starting to get better
Mm-hmm.
because it'll become you after so long, and not just with her, but just in general.
Mhm.
Because some things we just cannot promise. We
Right.
just cannot do it. We
Right.
just cannot make it.
Right.
You know you want to be that guy, be the one,
Mhm.
but it's just sometimes you just can't, man.
Yep.
You know. So, but I respect that. You know what you're saying. It turns you into a greater person and made you more responsible. Made you, you know, because you have a comedic type way. Like you like to joke and kick it and laugh. And I think you knowing when to do it and when not to now, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. So yeah, man, that time went by pretty quick.
It did.
So we just like to tell the people, we came to that time again where we about to end it. We respect y'all for showing up. We thank y'all for tuning in. As we continue to do these podcasts, we're gonna get better and have better conversations. But if anybody wants to send a message and ask questions, or even ask us to have a topic on a conversation, we're willing to do that. And again, we like to say, if you like to donate, we have a Cash App, $ Sharp on All Four Corners podcast. We also have a few pages, Facebook page. We also have a TikTok, and we also have an Instagram. So we just moving forward. We're moving a little slow, but we getting there. So we like to just say salute to everybody. We like to give a shout out to everybody that our family, our friends, and we like to say we love you and peace.
See.
Sayonara.
Shout out to my daughter. Yeah.